Hi Leo, my name is Tiana and welcome to my channel Inspired by Ease. We're just going to jump right in. Just know that you can swap around the characters and this it's not necessarily time specific. So you could be watching this 3 months from now and it could resonate with you. So just keep that in mind. So Cosmic Flower, this is the energy theme for the month of April in 2020 for you, Leo. And the Cosmic Flower is all about homecoming. It's all about returning to that feeling place of home within ourselves so that we can then go and pour our magnificence out into the world, which is completely beautiful. And there might be a lot of endings and new beginnings and wrap-ups and completions occurring in your life right now. And I just want to say that I hope that you are safe and well during this time. So this is an amazing energy to be working with in the month of April. It's all about coming home. Beautiful. And feeling more safe and more at ease and more like your authentic self and being able to just flourish in the world like the flower that you are, whether you're male or female. So for your animal totems for the month of April, you received 3, and it might read a little bit differently for each of you, but I'm going to read it like this is all of your energy. So you got Cobra, Cheetah, and Dragon. Holy guacamole. So for those of you who feel like the Cobra isn't you, it could be someone else. And I actually feel like sometimes the Cobra can be kind of not a pleasant energy, but I feel like actually this is a positive energy and is just more of a teacher or someone that maybe kind of challenges you. Someone that has kind of, or something, someone or something that has kind of brought you into your excellence. But for how I'm going to read it, the Cobra, how I'm reading it is that you have just basically been in a time of stillness and kind of like assessing the situation and figuring out which way you want to go, and what your plan of attack or your plan of strategy is to go where you want to go. So maybe I should do it this way. So yeah, that time is kind of coming to an end. I think that you now have a plan of attack or a strategy to put into place to go and pursue your dreams. So that's what the Cobra is indicating to me, that you've just been kind of like in this time of just trying to figure out what you want to do, this time of stillness, and maybe kind of going back and forth between things, like maybe following your heart or your mind. And you've definitely you've chosen to go with like your gut. There's a lot of red and orange and yellow, and a little bit of green with the dragon, but mostly red, orange, and yellow, which is all about your gut instinct, your place of power, what is empowering for you to do. And so now I'm going to put Cobra down, and now we're just going to focus on Cheetah and Dragon. So you have a plan of attack, Leo. You know where you want to go. You know how you want to do it. You know how you want to apply it. And so now you're on the move, basically. You're on the move, and you're definitely showing up in your element, because with both the Cobra and the Cheetah, with the upward pointing triangle is fire. So you're fire, obviously. So yeah, now you're coming into this ebb of action and passion and movement and progress and efficiency. And it's almost like you're creating a whirlwind, you're creating a vortex, where you're just moving so fast that perhaps, like, if you haven't talked to a friend in a month, they're going to be like, wait, you're doing what now? You're now making this much money now, or you're now doing that, or you're now living there. What? So it's kind of like you're kind of like becoming a blur to some people, or your past and all of that is becoming a blur, and you're just focused on the future. So it could be a little bit of both as well. And now we have dragon, which is besides some of the eggs in this deck, I believe that the dragon is the top. Let's see. Well, it's not quite the top, but it's pretty up there. This is the circle is the alchemical sign for ether. So this is kind of taking on a spiritual, this is kind of taking on a similar vibe to Virgo's reading. So you might want to read that. The dragon, you know, is ether, is spirit, is, but this is a little bit different. I mean, it's very different. I think you have your eye set on a prize, on a goal, or even someone, and that's pretty much all you can see. That's pretty much all you can see, and it's almost like you have blinders on and you're just racing towards it. It's just incredible. So yeah, there is an element of you having your eye on the prize and racing towards it, but you're doing it in a way where you have a lot of intelligence and your mind is very well-rounded, and it's being your strategy is being very well executed, because you have that core, that inner knowing of who you are, and letting, it's almost like you're racing towards your true self, your true destiny, while knowing you already have that, which is really amazing. So it has this energy of living as if. And so I think you've already come home, Leo, within yourself, and now you're racing towards creating that externally of how that feels. You know, with your body, with how you dress, your home, where you live, your career, you know, the amount of money that you want to make, the kind of relationship that you want to be in, the kind of lifestyle that you want to have, you know, all of that. And I think that you are kind of shutting out everything else. You're shutting out all the naysayers, all the negativity. You just really don't care. You just care about this prize, about this person, about whatever it is that you're wanting to create. So this is really amazing. Now we're going to jump to the fairies and see what else they have about this. So there's this energy where you were in a place of stillness. Maybe you didn't know what you want, and you went and found it, and now wild horses can't keep you from it. We do have Epona's wild daughter, which she can be kind of the gatekeeper of despair and lower uncomfortable energies. But I feel like this is kind of like Bridge to Terabithia style. Because you have, I think she's just trying to say that if you can just continue to follow the thread, I'm just seeing her tail. If you can just keep following the thread of that feeling, it's gonna lead you to the reality. It's gonna lead you to everything that you want. And there is this sense of kind of like everything that was holding you back, all of that is like over. Like it's completely cut out. And we do have the singer of intuition, and 7 is a symbol of deep, profound spirituality. So, yeah, perhaps you are tuning more into your intuition rather than what you should do or what you have to do, or what other people are saying. You're solely living from this place of intuition and guidance. And as you follow this, you're just beginning to see the light. And you are on this ascension, and you are with Virgo, it's all about bringing it down, but it's more like you are mostly on this ascension process, and you're just getting lighter and lighter and lighter and freer. So it's really amazing. It's like you're just a rocket. You're just becoming a rocket, and it's like the farther you go, the more and more momentum you have. So it's really incredible. I am wanting to say that because of that, and I think you already know this, that you have you can get so much momentum, you can go so fast that it is important to pay attention to. I think that's why that's why you have these blinders on, because if you start going down a path with your thoughts, or you see something, or you let a negative person in, it's just going to completely you're gonna just end up like hit in a tree, going 500 miles an hour. It's just not going to be fun. So I think that's why you have these blinders on, and you're just solely deliberately focused on what it is that you want. But yeah, that's just kind of a reminder to continue to do that. I think that's a really good thing that you're doing. It's not like you're sticking your head in the sand or anything like that. You are just being very deliberately focused, and putting all your energy towards that thing that you want. We have the honesty card here. So this is, I'm looking at the cosmic flower, and there is quite a bit of green. The green is at the total center. So this thing that you want, I think honesty is just saying that this thing that you want, it might from the outside, I don't know, this doesn't really make sense to me, but I'm sure it'll make sense to you, that I think from the outside, maybe in some ways, thoughts are starting to kind of creep in, and you're worried about how other people are going to perceive you, perhaps, in that like what you're going for may appear materialistic or self-centered or selfish, or I'm not sure, but it's actually a really deep, profound, deep yearning desire within you to have, and maybe you just need to have that validation that whatever it is that you want, you can have. And maybe just being very honest with yourself about what it is that you really, really want. Maybe there's something that you need to kind of confess to yourself about what it is that you truly want, and let that be okay. And I think that there are some things that you really dearly, deeply want, that maybe you have some kind of insecurity around, of kind of bearing your heart, and saying that. I think it feels like more of like a confession that you need to make to yourself than to anyone else, because the moment that you do that, like the gates will just open up and it'll all just start flooding in. So it feels like there's like you need to have a heart to heart with yourself, and then it'll be a lot easier to gain that momentum and that traction. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. And you might need to be having some maybe conversations with your inner child. So there might be some kind of insecurities or some kind of dialogue that's happening in your mind, that it's like, can I really have this? Is this okay to have? It's kind of this sweet, soft voice compared to this dragon of just going for it. So there's kind of two separate energies that might be going on here. And I think that you just need to have that heart to heart with yourself and say, yes, it is okay that I want this, and it doesn't matter how it appears to the outside. It doesn't matter. So hopefully that makes sense. What else can we get for the amazing Virgo? Okay, yeah. We have the Pook, which is a shapeshifter. So, I mean, this is really positive. So I'm just taking this as, well, okay, it could be two things, because we do have the Glanconer here. So you might have someone or something in your reality that you can't really trust. They're kind of shifty. And because the Glanconer is a very selfish taking energy. So, because this is kind of coming out of left field here. And now what I'm kind of wondering is that I'm not really feeling like this is a person. It could be, but I'm mostly feeling like this is just an aspect within you that's kind of maybe like an internalized someone or something that you internalized that is like telling you that you can't have it. So it's kind of like you're about, I think you're about to become a dragon, Leo, and you're a cheetah right now, and you're just starting to run, but something is kind of holding your tail back. So this is an inner process that you're having. And so I think that there's some kind of energy or something within you that's like, no, you can't have it. That's bad. And it's it just feels kind of blurry, and maybe it doesn't make a whole lot of sense of like where it came from or why you kind of have this like inner war that's going on where you're trying to go right and this other one is pulling you left. But the Pook is the resolution card. So the resolution is going to be doing parts work. I mean, it's going to, you can choose what the resolution is, but there is going to be a resolution. For me and with everybody that I've worked with, it's always parts work. It's always bringing these two parts that are going in opposite directions and accommodating them and bringing them together and understanding them instead of suppressing them, because if you just suppress it, it's just going to persist, right? So it's all about bringing these two together and accommodating them and healing that. So that's what I strongly feel as I'm reading this, but this could also be a person in your life that's kind of dragging you down, and I'm being told that you know what the solution is. I am kind of feeling like a hesitancy or a reluctance of like, do I have to do that? From you, Leo. So I'm sorry I keep itching my face, but sometimes happens when I'm reading. Anyway, but there is going to be a resolution, and you know what the resolution is, whether this is a person or an internal process that you're experiencing right now. And once you do this, I think that this, this person, you're either going to cut away, or if you can kind of get on the same page with them, they might kind of turn into an ally. Definitely, if this is an internalized aspect within you that's kind of pulling you down and saying negative thoughts and kind of preventing you from going for your dreams, if you work with it, it will become your ally. So that's what I'm hearing. And also that you have the power to shapeshift your reality and mold it into whatever you want it to be as well. So yeah, is there anything else that the fairies have to say to Leo? Anything else that Leo needs to know? And now that I'm just looking at the animal cards, I'm actually wondering if this, you know, in the beginning I was talking about the cobra and how you've been kind of going like this. And I think that you had really gotten a handle on this. And now that you're starting to really go for it, I think you're kind of surprised that this is still coming up and is still an issue. But anyway, I was just trying to say that the cobra was kind of personifying this issue. Okay, great. We have G the Hobyab, which is basically saying, what is it? False lies becoming real or appearing real or something. But anyway, it's basically your fears are not real. They're valid, but they're not real. This guy is really just like this big. So I hope that can kind of reassure you and comfort you that whatever your fears are, whatever this negative self-talk is, or this just negative influence in your life, it doesn't have as big of a hold on you as you might feel like it does. And if you can just face it and deal with it, heal it, then it's going to be a lot easier than you are maybe projecting it to be. Okay, so along with this energy, Spirit is kind of getting a little bit intense with you because they really want you to heal this part. So we do have the Soul Shrinker, which is, again, just very draining and is very selfish, taking energy, and is just stealing your light and your passion and your energy and all of that. So what is it that's being a time waster or a energy sucker, or is just putting a damper on things? And you know, this very much has to do with the mouth. So again, this has to do with negative self-talk or someone in your life being a negative influence, because it's just really bad. And I also want to say that whatever this is saying, they're total lies. So this really needs to be healed or gotten rid of or cut out or faced. So I think Spirit is becoming very adamant with you to, in a very loving way, of course, Leo, but to really just nip this in the bud once and for all, so that you can just go for it and accomplish your dreams and realize them. And lastly, we have the Bright Mother and the fairies of the future. So with the Bright Mother, for now, you know, she is solely focused on that glass ball, you know, whatever, or bubble, or however you want to see it. And And so that's what the universe is wanting for you. The universe is wanting you to be able to just put all your attention into a new reality, into a new endeavor that is pristine and pure and beautiful and wonderful. And also with the crescent moon, new beginnings, new cycles, completely new. And this also has to do with experiencing just like a cornucopia of abundance of opportunities, just being completely unlimited, and being more in alignment with your divine feminine aspect. This can also be mother, so becoming a mother to yourself. Oftentimes, if this is an internal process of negative self-talk, oftentimes we'll be surprised to find that this is actually a very, very wounded, scared inner child, and it isn't a big hairy monster as we think it is. It's actually just a very scared and afraid inner child. And you have all the resources that you need to be very loving to yourself. So this is a time for a lot of self-love, self-soothing energy, and to become comfortable in who you are, and to totally love yourself and approve of yourself. And there's a lot of, when I was saying that you have all the tools necessary, you either have a lot of tools, a lot of people, a lot of support, resources, beings, angels, spirit guides around you that are all enveloping you and comforting you. And I want to say sparking your imagination, sparking your mind in a really wonderful way. If this is kind of like fear and worry and kind of like, what if, like going to the worst case scenario kind of thinking, the bright mother is coming in to kind of paint over all of that fear and worry into the best possible outcome, and the most beautiful and abundant and loving future and life for yourself. And lastly, we have fairies of the future. This is a rearranging timelines and, going towards the future. So basically, there's just one thing that seems to just be keeping you back, Leo, that you need to just face head on, and it's not going to be as scary as you're projecting it out to be, and it's just going to be a little this size goblin thing, or a very hurt inner child, or whatever it is. And what Spirit is saying is to be very motherly towards it, very nurturing and loving towards it, and becoming your own divine mother to yourself, whether you're a male or female. So I'm just going to get some last minute advice for you, Leo. Here and now, being totally present with yourself. That is what Spirit is wanting you to do, to just be totally present with yourself, which is what we started out with. You being very still, and there was a stillness, but it was kind of like a back and forth stillness. It wasn't complete stillness in knowing who you are. And so it's kind of quieting that mind and totally aligning yourself. So that is your homework for the month of April. And we also have a new life. So once you do this, you are going to have a brand new spanking life, and you're just going to be completely reborn and feel as fresh as a newborn baby. And nothing can keep you from fulfilling your dreams. So yes, I hope that this was of benefit and of value to you, Leo. like I always say at the end of all my videos, you are never ever alone. You are so, so loved. And be kind to yourself and be kind to others. Stay safe. I hope you are well and happy. Be well. Mwah. Take care. Bye.